Kick is up, and the kick is good.
What's up, everybody? We are back. This is Parks, along with the Play the Fight Song podcast fan perspective. We are recapping Maryland today, and it was an ugly one. I think everybody can agree on that. And I'm going to have a few hot takes in this that I do not think a lot of you are going to agree with. So if you don't agree, if you hear something you don't agree with, comment down below. I want to see kind of what everybody's thinking, because there's a lot of, I don't want to say rumors, but a lot of different ideas going around about what this program needs and what they need to change. And I think I differ a little bit, but there's some people out there that I've seen that I think share the same opinion. So we'll see how hot they really are. But Nebraska falls to Maryland at home, 13-10. I was in Phoenix for the game, watched it at Clancy's Pub, just an all-time Nebraska bar that has a location in Phoenix. It's in Glendale or Scottsdale, one of the areas. I don't know. But it was an awesome time. Highly recommend if you're down in Arizona and Nebraska's ever playing a football game to go there. Any Nebraska event. Super cool people. I got to meet a few small town Nebraska folk that were down there that were very nice people. It was a cool experience, but it was ruined by another abysmal performance from Nebraska's offense. I mean, you just can't fathom how bad this team is offensively. I mean, if you've already looked at the ticker below, I had to include all three quarterbacks because they were that bad. And I know people are really high on kind of what Chuba did, and it was impressive what he did at the end of the game, but still, it wasn't like, man, that's the definition of a serviceable drive. It's not like he did anything above and beyond. That was a serviceable thing. It's just so much better because of what we've been getting. It wasn't like, he didn't blow anybody away. He's not going to get 13 transfer offers from what he did, but it was so much better than what we've gotten that we were like, wow, it's pretty good. Jeff Sims, the leading passer, 8 for 13, 62 yards, 2 interceptions and a fumble. Chuba Purdy, 1 for 3, 24 yards and a pick. And then Harburg, 1 for 5, 0 passing yards and an INT himself. So if you didn't add those up, let me do it for you quickly. That's 5 turnovers, all off the hands of our quarterbacks. Every one of them. Not a running back, not a wide receiver, nobody else. Just the quarterbacks turned the football over this week. So I do think the wide receivers had a little bit something to do with Chuba's, but we'll get into it. Taking a look, I just want to give my initial takeaways. I kind of want to go away from the stats because the stats in this game look like we deserve to get beat because our offense is so bad. I mean, we were 2 for 9 on third down. That ain't going to get it done at home. 2 for 9 on third down is not acceptable. We only threw 21 passes on the day. I feel like I've heard a lot of play calling issues arise, that we threw it too much. Why are we throwing it that much when we're running that effectively? Kind of the same thing came up Michigan State. 21 times is not a lot, guys. That is not a lot of passes. Maryland threw it 40 times. So you're talking about split it in half. So I don't think it was too much passing. I just think we didn't make the throws where we needed to. And I mean, just nothing good comes from this offense. Taking a look at the quarterback position, I kind of want to get into the debate. Who are we going to see next week? They came back out today. Today is Monday. I'm recording this the same day you're listening to it. I just landed. I mean, literally an hour ago. I wanted to get this out. So, but a lot of people are going back and forth on who we're going to start next week. But if you kind of listen to Rules Presser, Harburg's banged up, pretty bad ankle sprain. Chuba, I mean, he was weeks away from a surgery on his groin. And then it looks like your only plausible option is Jeff Sims, who just cannot find a way to not turn the football over. I thought he looked really good before he turned the first one over, and then he just kind of steamrolled into turnovers, like got back into his head. They showed a clip of him on Peacock, worst thing ever, by the way, but they showed a clip of him on Peacock kind of against the fence, talking and like thinking, overthinking, and like trying to process and like move on from something. And it's just not something you want to see. And I think we fans have a lot to do with it, which is a bad piece from us, but it's just something that happens. But he didn't handle the adversity well, rolled it over into 2 more turnovers. It just can't happen, but he's going to be the guy next week. I thought the offense looked pretty good. I was like, okay, now we're going. We got a little pace going. We put together 2 or 3 good plays in a row and we got on the ball quickly. It was the best I've seen our offense look. I don't want to say in a while, but in a while. So maybe that's a good sign to come for Wisconsin, which we'll preview in a couple days. But anyway, back to the quarterback debate. I think you don't have a good option, flat out. I know we want to say like, we don't have one. We don't have a good quarterback. All 3 of them. Can we accept that? Does somebody want to disagree? And I'm not just dogging on the kids because it's not an easy position to play and it's not an easy spot to play it. And playing football at the University of Nebraska is not easy. I'll be the first to admit that. But they're just not good. Point blank, period. They're not good. Casey Thompson would fit better. Yes, I know people are bringing that back up, but it's over with. It's done with. We got to work with what we got, but they're just not going to be it. They are making such bad decisions in these games that it is single-handedly losing us. That position is losing us the football game. Now, when we look at the running back position, I listed Emmett Johnson down there because he deserves it. 17 carries, 84 yards. It's like a 4.8 yards per carry breakdown. And it brings up the play calling on offense. What can we do on offense play calling wise to be different? Run the football more? Sure. I'm down for it. Can Emmett Johnson handle it? What if Emmett goes down? Quentin Ives, burn him the last 2 games. I mean, I don't know if we've used him, if this week counted as 5th. I know he got some snaps, but what are we doing? I mean, 17 carries is a lot. What's his max, though? 25? So we'll see what happens there. But I thought Emmett was great. I think Emmett's a stud. I think he's going to be a huge piece of this program coming up because I don't think they're going to make any changes. And that's another thing I want to go into. And I'll just roll into it now. The hate on Satterfield, why it might feel well warranted because we can't put up points. None of these play calls are coming in. Like, he didn't send a play call into Jeff Sims, hey, fumble this football. He didn't send a play call down to Chuba, hey, throw this ball on a line rather than in the air to the back pylon and throw it into a bad play design, by the way, that under route by Malachi. I thought maybe it was a curl and the defensive back just played it really well, but it looked a little messy over there. We brought a second defender back into that play for no reason, but if you look at the play design, it was terrible, but he didn't tell him to throw a dart. Like that's you throw that to the back pylon. It's either your guy makes a chance with a foot in bounds or it's out of bounds and you throw it away and you take 3. I don't hate that pass play call. I think you go for a touchdown in that situation. However, I don't want to say it was my favorite. Like, I don't hate it, but I didn't love it. Like, if they would have taken it 2 yards, kicked a field goal, I wouldn't have thought anything about it. I'm like, you got to take points with this offense. Anytime you have a chance to take points, you have to almost settle and just get it because they can't score, man. Like, even the touchdown we run by Javarian Bonner, great play by him. It was actually good to see him do something other than block, which he's great at. But even that wasn't easy. Like, nothing comes easy for this offense. Absolutely nothing. So I get the argument where it was dog play call. You got to run the football. You got to kick the 3. I can hear that argument. I don't think that is a dumb take. But, and this is my whole main point of this video, can we stop firing people? Thank God Rule said what he said today. Can we stop? You have to think of the long-term effects. Okay, we've played, 10 games now or 5-5. Hey, if it doesn't work out in 10 games, if we're not really, really good, or, I mean, even just good. If we're not good, you're out. We're out. What does that tell transfer players? What does that tell players in general trying to come here out of high school? What does that do for offensively just to learn a playbook again, to create a new identity under a new person? Like, brother hasn't even gotten through a lease at an apartment yet. I know Satterfield's not an apartment. He makes $1.5 million a year, but he's not even a year into his payments. Come on. This isn't the NFL, people. Like, give it, like, he has 9 of 11 starters or 8 of 11 starters out on offense. Can we give it a year? I mean, calling for heads, have we learned nothing? I can't say that. And I see both sides. I can see where it's just easy, like, I'm tired of it, I'm emotionally drained, because I am. But it's just what we've done is fire those people, and it's not working. So let them build. So I refuse to hear that. I don't think the play calling is the biggest part of it. I think it's just we're not there. We're not good enough on offense. Like, our athletes they're just not making plays in those spots at the quarterback position specifically, but in general, right? We've dropped passes. Like, they're not taught to drop passes. Like, they're there. 6-yard curl route on 3rd and 5, and it hits Bullock in the middle of the hands. I mean, the middle of them, and it dropped. That was 2 weeks ago, but still, that's a perfect example. Like, Satterfield didn't ring down and say, hey, drop this pass. Like, some of the opportunities are there, and you have to realize what he's working with. And not a lot of those guys are his guys yet. I mean, we brought in a ton of new players, but like the young people have stepped up. I'm glad Emmett Johnson's on our team. It's not their product, but I'm glad he's on our team. I think Bullock could be good. I really do. I think Alex Bullock could be good. I mean, we lost Garcia Castaneda. We lost Betts. Like, those guys count. Those guys matter that we lost. And it's just not there. Positive side of things, I thought our offensive line actually did look good. I agree with Rule. I thought it was pretty good. I thought our protection was good all day long. They weren't back there very much at all, but we just couldn't make the throws when we needed to. And it's as far as I want to go to it. I'm tired of talking about firing people. I'm tired of talking about how bad this offense is. We know it. Like, that's what cost us the game again. I think I was a little upset at Rule when he mentioned, like, I really expect our defense to come up with a stop there at the end of the game. Dude, we are asking for 2 touchdowns. Give them the points that they got at the end of the game. We are asking for 2 touchdowns, and you win a football game. That's not too much to ask, guys. 2 touchdowns. I don't care how you get them. And you know what set up the first touchdown? Thank God we only had a 28-yard field, because it took us 3 plays at the goal line to get in. It is the turnover forced by Nebraska's defense. Again, they forced 3 of them, right? We're down 2-0 in the turnover battle. Maryland's 5-0 when they were in the turnover battle, 0-4 when they lose it. We get back into it. We even it up. It's 2-2. It's 7-7, right? You could flip the script right there. We had it. Turnover off Sims. It's not a running recipe. You can't win. It's not just statistic. It comes down to just blatant execution. And it is what it is. I think you just got to take it for what that is. I don't want to make this a really long one, because it sucks and it's emotionally draining, and we're still one game away from a bowl game. Hell, we could still make it in there. I mean, just screw it. Study really hard. We'll make something. 5-7. Just study really hard, everybody. But it is what it is with this team, man. We know what we have to do in the offseason to go get some quarterbacks, go get some wide receivers. Great, go fill holes on defense that we're going to lose. I think Quentin being out was massive on defense. To not have Quentin Newsom was terrible. But that's it. That's all it took. It was just a bad loss. I want to know your guys' thoughts. I thought defensively we were good. Again, I thought we contained Talalea. He's as advertised. That's one of the better quarterbacks, if not the best quarterback in the Big Ten. And we handled them all day for the most part. I mean, they beat us a couple deep balls, but those are elite receivers too. If we had those 2 receivers and that quarterback on offense, man, we'd win probably 9 or 10 games. So take it for what it is. It's over. We got to move on with it. We'll preview Wisconsin on Wednesday, but we're going to keep fighting at this thing. I believe in this product and what it's going to be. I really do. It just sucks that it's not there yet, because we've waited so long. And then we kind of got that taste. We're sitting at 5-3, like, holy man, like, dude, we could do it. We could just win the West. Like, screw it. It would just be the quickest turnaround ever, even though Rule doesn't do that. I got to calm down. You got to calm down. We got to calm down, but we will. And we'll bounce back. Let's preview Wisconsin this coming Wednesday. Thursday, the Week 12 preview will drop for Play the Fight Song podcast. If you've never listened to it, please give it a shot. If you love college football, I think you'll enjoy it. Interact with us. We want to bring you on. We want to talk about you. We want to answer your questions. We love college football. I love Nebraska. Go Big Red.